Hey, what's going on, prospective study abroad students? My name is Mac and I'm an ex-study abroad student and a current full-time world traveler. And in this video today, I want to help you decide whether or not you should study abroad. So to start out, where am I, right? I'm walking around this forest, as you can see behind me, and you're wondering where I am. Well, I'm in the beautiful city of Sevilla, Spain, and I chose this city to record this video for only one reason, and that reason is because 7 years ago, this is where I studied abroad.
So I'm sitting here, about to go to Europe. Not really sure what to expect. A little bit nervous because I don't really know anyone, I guess you could say. But today is my flight, and I'm leaving in like an hour.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe it's already been 7 years since I studied abroad, but I'll tell you that what I learned when I studied abroad is still in me today and will be forever. So let's start out with the basics. Why did I choose Spain to study abroad out of almost 200 different countries around the world? Well, that's for a few different reasons. Number one is I was learning Spanish at the time and I wanted to figure out a way to just continuously increase my Spanish because for some reason I just could not get it in the classroom. I needed more conversational. So that helped me narrow it down to Spanish-speaking countries. And then I'd also never been to Europe and I was like, you know what? There are so many countries that are so close to Spain. I could see a lot of Europe while I'm out there for the semester that I studied abroad. And so I was like, okay, you know, it made sense to do Spain. So there is no one best location, of course, to study abroad. Honestly, doing it anywhere in the world, you're going to have pros and cons to every destination. Of course, there's going to be different risks. There's going to be different weather. So there's so many different factors that are always going to contribute to why or why not you should go to a destination. This video isn't necessarily going to tell you which location to choose. Now, I might be a little bit more biased to Spain because, of course, I have spent my study abroad semester here in Spain. So I personally love this country the most. I would love to know, though, what countries you guys are considering to study abroad in. So feel free to go ahead and comment below where you were thinking about studying abroad. So I think early on in this video, it's important to note that absolutely you should study abroad. And the reason why I am so certain that you specifically need to study abroad is because it will change your life. And you're probably thinking, hey Mac, like, I can't afford studying abroad, like it's too expensive. And you're probably just some rich guy on the other side of the screen that was able to have your parents pay for it and take care of everything. And I'm not in a situation like that, is what you might be thinking. But the thing is absolutely not. I'm fully self-funded, and by self-funded, I mean I had to take out loans to go to school. But with that, it enabled me to study abroad in this beautiful location of Sevilla, Spain. And with that, there were so many key learnings that I was able to take away from this experience that I want to continuously share with you through this video. But I think it's an important point to note that I didn't come from a strong financial backing to be able to do this. I figured out, how can I do this? How can I get a loan to do this? Because I knew the investment of my life would be that much better if I took this step. I think it is important to note there is one thing that I got very, very lucky with. And what that is I got very lucky to have my older brother, Cody, study abroad in Barcelona before me, and he was able to share with me so many great things and ultimately give me the inspiration to study abroad myself. And so you might not have an older sibling or someone you know that has studied abroad. You might be the first of your family to do that. And I'm here to tell you in this video that I want to be your inspiration to do it if you don't have that figure, because I did get very lucky that my brother did inspire me to study abroad. So I want to start out and give you a few reasons why you should study abroad. And I think this first one encompasses the backbone for all of the reasons why you should study abroad. And that first one is it gets you out of your comfort zone. And what that means is you're so used to a certain way your whole life of, you know, this is how you think, this is how you act, these are your friends, these are the people you've been closest with, and all of that's different, all of that's changed. And so with that, there's a lot of great things from it. One, it's a little bit scary, not gonna lie. When I got on the plane first on my way to study abroad, I was so nervous. I was like, I've never been to Europe, I don't know anybody in the program, and so it was really tough. But at the same time, that pushes you to go ahead and meet new people, which is the next reason. And meeting new people is one of the most valuable things, and it's from both the friend side as well as meeting your host families. And that brings me to the next reason. So you make lifelong friends. I'm here 7 years later visiting Spain, and I just had dinner with my host mom, and it was like I was with her 7 years ago. And I know we'll be lifetime friends, as well as all the other study abroad students and other Spaniards that I also spent time with. So I think the next thing worth mentioning is, if you're anything like me, I hadn't done much world traveling prior to my study abroad experience. And now fast forward 7 years later, I've been to almost 35 countries. And the reason being is studying abroad. I did not really have much of an inspiration to travel before. You know, of course, maybe the usual Florida trips, which I do love, but adding in the travel component has really been such an important part of my life. And when you study abroad, obviously you're going to another country, you're experiencing other cultures, and you definitely get the travel bug for it. But it is the best type of bug you could ever get. The next point to share only applies in some situations. For me, as an English speaker going to Spain, it was the opportunity to learn a new language. With my host family, we were only allowed to speak Spanish in the house, so that gave me the opportunity to learn another language here. Not all study abroad programs, of course, you need to learn a new language. That's not a make or break. If you want to go to another English-speaking country, absolutely do that too. You're still going to get so many benefits from that, and it'll of course be much easier to communicate with the locals if you're not fluent in the other language like I wasn't when I first arrived to Spain. But it pushes you out of that comfort zone, so you have to learn the new language, which I personally enjoy. So those are some of my top reasons to study abroad. There are so many other reasons I could give you why studying abroad completely changed my life and why you should do it. But I think the next part to focus on is what is holding you back? And you might have a few different factors. You might be scared to leave the country. You might have a loved one or a parent that doesn't want you to study abroad. What I would recommend, and of course there is no one formula to be able to convince them as to why you should study abroad. One thing I can tell you is you need to do your research, you need to have your facts, you need to have your benefits, you need to have your risks and safety plan, and you need to have all of this information put together when you're ready to talk about it. And maybe the simple answer is put together a PowerPoint that shows the benefits, the risks, why you should do it, how you can benefit, how you're gonna pay for it. Whatever it is, put that all in a PowerPoint presentation and run them through. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but sometimes having all of that information together can give it more of a cohesive feel, and they might feel more secure about you going to another country to study abroad. Another important point to touch on is safety, and this might actually be one of your biggest concerns. And if you're coming from the United States, I hate to tell you, but there's also a lot of dangerous things that happen in the United States. So there's risks everywhere, right? When there are risks, you need to figure out what is your safety plan. And by safety plan, how do you stay a few steps ahead so you can avoid these bad situations? Obviously, some are inevitable, and God forbid something never happens to you. But in general, you can mitigate some of these safety risks by reading up on where you're going, joining the STEP program, which is a program ran by the government, free in the United States, and you enter in when you're gonna be in a country. And during that time, the US Embassy in that country knows exactly where you are, so if something bad were to happen, they can contact you. As well as they send you email updates with any sort of risks, whether it's protests, terrorism, pickpocketing, anyone you should watch out for. You get all of those emails. So as I'm currently full-time traveling, I have a bunch of different countries that I'll be going to over the next few months, and I get updates if there's any risks. And that way I know to avoid the area, or I know to watch out for pickpocketing. Whatever it might be, you gotta take a few steps ahead, and that will help you feel better about some of the safety areas that might be a concern of yours. The next point here is you're probably trying to figure out where should you go. And once again, I'm not gonna tell you where you should go in this video. That's not what this video is about. But I will tell you what you can do is think about what you enjoy. Think about what languages you're learning. What are your hobbies? And what is common in some of these cities you can study abroad in. For example, in Sevilla here, maybe you're a rower. You've never learned any Spanish, but everybody here rows right down the river. So that might be another reason to come to Spain. You can work on one of your hobbies. Or for example, maybe you absolutely love pizza. So try out Italy. Obviously there's so much more to Italy than pizza, but I'm just giving you kind of a couple examples here that whether it's food or an activity, try and pair those together and you can kill two birds with one stone, or maybe many more. So guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I really hope that I gave you some sort of courage, inspiration, or whatever it might be to help you study abroad. I myself have also ran into a lot of those concerns that you have had or are currently having, and I can tell you it is absolutely worth it to study abroad. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to say, put it in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.